Conversation presented by Caesar Sportsbook. MJ Acosta-Ruiz here with Robin Lopez and our resident coach, David Fizdale. Okay, New York Knickerbockers.
Oof.
Getting it done. What a way to cap off the second game and at the Garden. Let's get you right to the highlights from a spicy Game 2 over at the Mecca. Welcome to New York.
Oh, man, they're shutting it down out there.
Is that a neon chain that guy was wearing?
I mean, yes, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Get your little meditation on, Jalen. I get it. First quarter. Come on, Cat.
What a finish.
Little finesse.
I mean, James Harden got to give him more resistance than that. Sorry. That's if you want to win and you want to go to the finals.
Right.
Yo.
Here he comes again.
You got to show it.
Yeah, playing with urgency there. Towns 13 points in the first half. Under 3 to play. Here comes Mobley.
How you attack?
He had 10 in the first quarter. All right, clock winding down. Oh!
We don't need more of that.
Spider beating the buzzer there. All right, second quarter. Bridges.
I love how he's just gotten, locked into just being a winning player and not worrying about scoring, not worrying about any of that stuff.
Oh, the beard. Knocks down a 3. 12 first half points for Harden. All right,
man.
Game tied at 45.
That man.
What did you call him, Coach? Didn't you say he was the X factor?
Yep.
For the postseason?
That dude, he can swing a series in a heartbeat. He's a winner.
Yeah, he was just getting started there. Brunson to Hart again.
Asking Hart to beat him?
Yep.
Well.
Celebrity Row, living it up. By the way, Brunson, 2 points in the first half. The Knicks took a 4-point lead into halftime. So, third quarter now. All right, Brunson, start heating up, my man.
Deep-ish.
Deep-ish, very much so. Qualifies.
He is ridiculously good.
Yeah, here we go. Just woo! Dancing.
Ballroom dancing on him.
It was a slow burn, as Mike Green would say, a Brunson burner.
Genius.
How good is
if
Green?
you will. I mean, so good. Midway through the third. This Brunson-Hart connection is very good.
What's confounding is there's nobody next to him even like 3 seconds after he catches the ball.
Right.
He is.
What's going on?
Hart, again.
Somebody please guard him.
He tucking in a napkin.
Look at Ben Stiller.
Getting his silverware
all the time in the world.
I would also give a standing ovation. That was part of an 18-0 Knicks, 18-0 Knicks run. Ooh.
See, that's where he just changes the whole dynamic. Is that space 5? Ooh.
Their foot on the gas here. Fourth quarter. Mitchell. All right, little fight back from Cleveland. But OG with some strong moves there, making sure they remember where they were. Very next Knicks possession.
I don't think the Cavs are going to forget.
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Woo! Bridges for 3. He's also on fire tonight.
Can't be giving up corner threes.
No.
But all of these threes are wide open. I mean, seriously, they like looking at the ball. They're getting the laces together.
I would knock those down, Coach.
Josh Hart.
Right, all that
I
time.
know you would, big fella.
A playoff career high for Josh Hart, I believe 26 points. Victory and a statement.
BK.
For the
Bernard
Knicks.
King, baby. Bernard
It must have been
King.
Method Man at halftime. The Knicks won 109-93, the final. At least for us here in the green room. All right, the Knicks have won 9 consecutive playoff games. Jalen Brunson scored 17 of his 19 points in the second half with a playoff career high, 14 assists. Josh Hart recorded a playoff career high with 26 points. Cleveland now down 2-0 in the series. Here's Josh Hart after his big game. Josh, after not...
Dan, you guys scored 27 points in the first quarter and didn't reach that number in the next 3. Why do you think you struggled offensively tonight?
We didn't shoot the ball well. I thought we had a lot of good looks. A lot of good looks from 3. Good looks at the rim. I thought our process was right. Took care of the ball. Offensive rebounded. I think wasn't a great shooting night. At the end of the day, you got to put the ball in the hole. Tonight we didn't.
What do you think you can do to get the bigs more involved?
Get it to them in the pocket more, in the pick and roll. But they, it's a little bit like they're sucking in. They're in the paint, and I thought we did a great job hitting the perimeter guys. Bunch of swings, bunch of wide open threes. You know, you gotta kind of take what the defense gives you. Obviously, they're trying to take away those guys. So I think if we would have made some shots early, it could have loosened them up a little. But we never found you know, the accuracy tonight.
Well, Brunson obviously didn't have as big of a scoring night, but 14 assists. Kind of what did you see out of there?
That's what great players do, right? You know, they read the game. You know, and the game dictated that. Obviously, we were loaded up more to him, and you know, he found other guys. So we just got to find that balance. You know, but you know, 14 assists. But credit to him, right? Took away some of his scoring options, blitzed him, gave him different looks. He made the right reads, right place.
You guys have been, obviously much better at home throughout the postseason. So, kind of what gives you the confidence that
Yeah.
going back there, you can sort of flip this now, staring down?
Listen, you know, we're you know, could easily stole game one. I thought our process was right tonight. So that gives me confidence going home. You know, obviously we got the great home crowd, have played well at home in the playoffs. So, you know, we need to get our legs under us, quite honestly. Like, you know, we know their rest advantage. So getting home always helps with that. But definitely probably didn't have the juice tonight that we needed to, which is kind of, you know, it's going to hit it sometime.
To that point, you agreed with Lisa at halftime that you didn't think Donovan was moving quite.
Yeah, but then after halftime, I thought he was moving well. So you know, like there's, you know, Don, he's not complaining about it to me, but I, you know, did see him, you know, trying to work through it. Probably some stiffness, but I, you know, asked him if he wanted to come out in the fourth quarter, and he's like, I'm fine. So I think he's fine.
And then the other thing I wanted to follow up on, like you said, you got to find a balance, and you were talking more about loading up on Brunson. So does that mean that Hart got loose tonight?
For sure, you got to pick your poison. That's what the playoffs are about, right? You gotta, you know, you gotta kind of pick players or player that, you know, you got to help off of. So, you know, those are the choices you make in the playoffs.
Pre-game, you talked to us about the idea of when the bigs get more touches, it unlocks extra, whatever chemistry, I think is the word you used. Then you said the second half, they were making the right read offensively, passing over the top for threes, but obviously then you don't get to have that chemistry unlocked.
Yeah.
I think it was 0 shots for Mobley after halftime. Is there anything to be done to still work him through?
Yeah. I mean, we got to look at it because that's obviously as well as Evan played in the first half. He should have more shots. Again, I could just say they were really tagging our rollers. They are in there. And, you know, my big kind of, you know, preaching to them these past day or two is hit the open man. And I felt like they did that. So, you know, we'll have to look at it. Of course, always got the offensive boards. Can we get out and transition more? You know, that would be another way. But yeah, you're right, Dave. We got to find a way to get them involved more, even with the defense they're playing.
All right, so the Knicks take care of home court and go up 2-0 in the series. Tonight's hero for New York, as predicted by Coach, Josh Hart, who continually made the Caps pay for leaving him open, making 5 threes. The game was only Knicks up at 4 at halftime, but the Knicks really pulled away in that second half. They knew they had to really create even more space with this Cavs team, Coach. But yeah, you called Josh Hart the X factor before we even got into the postseason. You knew he would be a crucial piece. Why was that?
He's a winner, and he's got all of the skill sets, right? But he just plays his role. But when the game asks him to score, he scores. If the game asks him to rebound, he rebounds, defends. He gives you whatever the game needs. And, you know, tonight they kept leaving him open. And although he started off 0 for 3, he's not the kind of guy that lingers in the past. And he's just trying to help his team win, and what you saw was a great performance.
Yeah, I love that he said that post-game with Lisa Salters. My ego's gone a long time ago.
Oh, I
I'm just
love
here to
that.
serve
Oh.
these guys. And you can see his unselfishness on the court. And it paid off for him with dividends today, Robin.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of frustrating how wide open they were leaving him.
We were like, what?
Like, these players weren't even under
They were,
the
like, daring
same
him,
government jurisdiction. It was ridiculous. Like any
state line.
NBA player, like if you give them time and
They can make a
space,
shot.
they're gonna knock that down. You at least gotta at some point close out to him, get a hand up.
Yeah, no question. Coaches, we're looking at Brunson here, really becoming a playmaker for others. We saw this similarly in your phys tech in relation to SGA
Yes.
and the
Same
adjustments
thing.
that he has to make.
Same thing.
You know, he after scoring 38 last game, still ended with a double-double today, 14 assists, and that was intentional.
The fact that he anticipated that they were going to adjust and start doing that after having a great game, right?
Yeah.
He comes out, he's patient. And, you know, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The Knicks are going to go as far as Jalen Brunson passes, as much as Cat passes. Last series, it was Cat. This series now is Jalen.
Right.
Just get your other guys involved, because they arguably have the best starting 5 in the league.
Right.
Like, you could put that starting 5 up against anybody position by position. And so just trust the pass. And, you know, these guys are going to make solid basketball plays. None of them take bad shots. They always hit the open man. So him trusting those guys and making those plays tonight, that's going to go a long way in them succeeding.
Yeah. On the other side of this, Coach Atkinson said, we didn't shoot the ball well. Yes, Coach. Very direct and simple quote, very succinct, thank you. But what were the Cavs missing in this game compared to game 1 where they were really dominant for most of it?
2 things for me. I think their role players, unlike the Knicks, aren't hitting shots. Sam Merrill, Max Strus aren't hitting shots. But I think they're just missing that extra edge, man. The Knicks on the defensive end are draped all over the Cavs, and I'm not seeing the same thing reciprocated with the Cavs on the defensive end.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'll tell you the one thing. With the people that the Knicks are putting on the floor and the way that Jalen Brunson is bringing it defensively, there's no one to really go after. Whereas they are making a deliberate effort to go after James Harden, right? And that's really carving them up. They got to find out a solution to this, because they've already played it straight up. Now they played it where they're switching, and then they go back and trap, which I didn't think their traps were soft traps. They didn't even really trap them. They just sat
they
back.
absolutely were soft traps.
And they were letting, you know, Jalen Brunson Brady just, you know, throw those little short passes over the top in his bucket all day, right? And so they're going to have to create more disruption. They're going to have to put more duress on him. You know, an option might be straight up is just trap the initial pick and roll with James Harden. Don't switch it. Just trap. I would trap every pick and roll with Jalen Brunson, to be honest with you, whoever he brought into the pick and roll. But instead of switching it, sitting back, now he's just like, boom, right in the middle. Like he was just, it was like a zone. You kept saying, it's a zone, it's a zone. And that he saw that, and he kept hitting his guys hard. All those other guys right in the middle for those easy floaters.
Yeah, whatever they do, they got to turn up the dial on it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Jalen Brunson Brady is hilarious. Okay, let's get back out to the podium. Donovan Mitchell
Marsha may have been
has
courtside.
taken lead. Was she?
Marsha,
She was. Christine Taylor. Let's get you out to the podium and hear from Donovan.